review. My name is Lhunatic Fringe, and today we're going to be talking about a book called Avoid AIDS by a good friend of mine named Dee Compose. Now, the way this book came about is sad. Dee had a few friends and relatives die of the disease. Her mother, her father, her sister, her aunt, all within a period of about 1 year. Her BF, her best friend, and her BFF died of AIDS. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back that made her want to write this book. Now, she writes in this book that we are all affected by this disease. Not me. I mean, I don't know anybody with this disease. Unless you count my uncle who's got that big lump on his neck, which is always oozing pus. Dee writes that there's 42 million people living with HIV/AIDS, and that's like all the people in America. And 74% of those live in sub-Sahara Africa. Now, I haven't done much research because I had the Star Trek convention and my stamp collecting seminar I had to go to, so I didn't get a lot of chance to read this book, and I didn't get much of a chance to do a little research. But sub-Sahara, I'm kind of smart. Sub means short for submarine, and Sahara, desert. Obviously, there's a new place in Africa that they're making some great subs, and it's near the desert. She says 74% live in sub-Sahara Africa. I don't know why she points that out, but I don't know how many people live in a place that makes submarines. Maybe 50, 20, I don't know, 20, 30, 40. Now, there's a new technique pioneered in Milan, and I think that's Milan, India, called sperm washing. And if this catches on, there's going to be a great demand for microscopic towels, microscopic washcloths, and even microscopic size small bars of soap. Because apparently the seminal fluid, and you know, Seminoles basically just means the Seminole Indians living out in the Florida Everglades. You know, some of them live in Oklahoma. You know, Seminoles, just the Seminole Indians, the Spanish word for Seminole is wild. But the seminal fluid is what carries the virus. There are pros and cons for having AIDS. And I didn't think there would be anything positive about having AIDS until I read this book, until I read part of this book. But some of the pros of having this disease is weight loss, great weight loss. You get to catch up on your sleep. Your friends will come by, your friends will become closer to you, your relatives will become closer to you, and the friends that you really thought were your friends are going to abandon you. So that's a benefit, because you'll know who your true friends are. Now, there are cons, there are negative things about having this disease, and one of those is death. So the worst con of all is death. Death, violent illness, sickness, vomiting. The pills taste horrible. Let's talk about transmission. Can AIDS be transmitted by simple things as handshakes? No. What about doorknobs? What about hugging or kissing? No, you can't receive the AIDS disease by hugging or kissing doorknobs. What about sex? You can acquire the disease by having sex with doorknobs. So until there is a cure found for AIDS, I would forego any doorknob sex altogether. Toilet flush handle thingy, yes. Most people use their shoe. The virus is actually small enough that it can pass through the sole of your shoe, pass through your sock, and enter your bloodstream through your bare foot. Okay? So we're going to have to find another way to flush the toilet. Okay. Final summation, don't go to Africa, stay out of the Everglades, and just avoid Oklahoma altogether. Now, that's all the time we have today. Why don't you join us next week, where we'll be discussing another book called Bad Germs, Good Toilet, How Not to Get Flushed. And this is written by Seymour Butts.